our presentation that Anne and I had was Palazzo Vecchio. The Palazzo Vecchio is the main symbol of civil power, and the construction for the palace was on the solid fortes, began in 1299.
Palazzo Vecchio was built in 4 different stages. This is a model that is shown to people in the museum.
The Palazzo Vecchio is arguably the most important building of Florence. The old palace was built in 1299. It was a place of government completely ran by the friars. The friars are elected from guilds and corporations. The friars lived inside the castle, where it was completely their home. They were isolated inside the castle for 2 months in 1342 due to the economic crisis involved with the city of Lucca.
The Palazzo Vecchio is arguably the most important building in Florence. The old palace was built in 1299. It was a place of government completely ran by the friars, which were people elected from guilds and corporations. The friars lived inside the castle where it was completely their home. They were isolated inside the castle for 2 months in 1342 due to economic crisis involved with the city of Lucca.
After the reign of the Duke, the Medici family became a very popular family in Florence. The family started out as trading wools and textiles, where it then led to banking, where all their riches were created. Cosimo de' Medici, the father of the family, was the next to move into the palace.
The Duke of Athens added to the Palazzo Vecchio, giving it the appearance of a fortress, and even adding a secret staircase for nightly exits. The building was rebuilt for the Medici family, and the second builder created a secret door that was built into the castle. The walls were very thick, and this door would only open from the inside. But in 1570, a thief came in and found his way through the secret staircase, where the staircase was closed to the building.
This slide shows a picture of Cosimo de' Medici's bedroom. The first room you enter from the staircase was the bedroom of Cosimo de' Medici. The frescoes that are upon the walls are unrecognized by who they are or by whom they were created by. The room was full of decorations and are very important, as it was the room of the owner of the palace.
This is the only known picture of Francesco de' Medici, the son of Cosimo. He was very shy and not really into politics, but he made chemicals, crystals, and stones. He was better with nature and mankind.
The next room that you enter from Cosimo's bedroom is the room of Francesco, his famous studio. Francesco was Cosimo's son. There were 32 different artists that created the paintings that are in this room. The journey that Francesco took every day to study, and he shaped like a treasure chest. The room was shaped like that. And through the school of different artists, students came together and created all the paintings that are in this room.
This picture is the ceiling of the fresco. This is a superwoman, like a mother giving her breast to creatures such as baby unicorn snake. She also is given the stone of eternal life. This was given the stone from God who stole fire, so now we can cook better and make metal weapons. The word that is seen in all of these are the 4 elements: air, water, earth, and fire. These are all represented in each of the frescoes in the ceiling.
One of the photos that were on the wall that was painted by a student was fire. Fire can be dry sticks. There's earth can be cold, and there's baby shivering. Water is wet, and there's humid. If you're wet, you'd be chunky with the water retention. Air could also be hot. The babies can be sweating. So these can influence your temperatures, how fire influences rage, how water will influence being lazy or calm. Also part of our diets and how we feel.
In the middle, the woman is the mother of Francesco. On the left is spring, and on the right is summer.
So like many of the pictures that were in this room, they were based off of, are supposed to be shown as different seasons or different zodiac signs, and how the seasons and the zodiac signs affect us as humans, and how they all have different representations of how they are, and the little images inside of them show how they're based off of those different seasons or off of our different zodiac signs that make us us.
Again, this is Francesco's mom with summer on the right and spring on the left, representing when Cosmo conquered Earth. She was dead, but this was her paradise, and this was his way of remembering his mom.
On the wall, this is also a picture of his father, but next to him on the left is the season of autumn, and on the right is the season of winter.
Behind each painting were doors where Francesco stored his things in there. They used the paintings to see what he was storing in there, basically labeling each door.
Before this room was used as Francesco's studio, it was the Lorena family, and they used the room for cold and storage, but the room was completely reconstructed, but was done wrong in the years 1570 to 1574. It was then completely destroyed and had to be renovated in 1570 when Eleanor's family came, Francesco's mother, and it was reconstructed and restored, also repainted in 1910. So these are the original paintings from Francesco, but they had to restore them from the damage.
This is what the outside of the escape door looked like. When you walked in the room, you could not tell each door apart unless you knew that there was an escape door in the room.
This image shows fire, which is one of the most important elements of alchemy. Alchemy was mostly what Francesco studied. Alchemy is a medieval form of chemical science as well as philosophy. And Francesco saw this is what his image would depict.
Behind this door was medicine. We know this because there was a depiction of the birth of medicine on the outside of this door.
Behind many of those hidden cabinets, as well as hidden doors, one of the rooms was like a treasure chest that belonged to Cosmo in 1516. This is the ceiling that also shows the different zodiac signs as well as seasons. This place was a room just for storage. It mostly held his money, his coins, or the money of the family. The family were bankers, so they did have a lot of money to hold, and this room was completely filled at one point. There were more hidden doors, and the doors are opposite for a measure of symmetry and harmony. So some of the doors would open and some of the doors wouldn't.
This was a mystery room. We're not sure what it was. It could have either been a bath where they bathed people or where they hid dead bodies.
You would then leave that little room and enter the main halls, and this was built in the 1500s. This is still the town hall today. There's still offices used here. There's still people who work here. But when Cosmo saw this for the first time, he considered this a really small room. He said the ceilings were really small. The whole room was small. And when he entered, he said, "This is too small for me, and I am better than this." So therefore, to make the room look better and feel like it worked for him, he placed in the middle of the ceiling a really big picture of himself, but depicted as Jesus.
This statue is thought to be a self-portrait of Michelangelo, or the man he was in love with. Cosmo saw it and wanted it, but said it was a statue of the victory of Cosmo's conquering of Florence.
The second statue shows the victory of Pisa. The two provinces don't get along still to this day. Our tour guide said that many people say it's always better to have a dead body in your house than a person from Pisa in your house. We still don't have salt on the bread because of the ancestors in Florence refusing to take their salt.
This is Leonardo da Vinci's fresco of the Great Battle. He worked on this before Cosmo in the 1500s, where he got experience with wax and everything melted, and was not a lot was preserved from it. Artists from all over copied it, but the original was ruined. There's a rolled up white flag, and above that there's a green triangular flag, which is the detail known as "Seek and you will go find."
When you walk out of this room, you can see on the floor the original floors from the Medici family.
Some fun facts we found out on our tour was that between 1865 and 1871, Florence was the capital and became the Parliament Palace. We also found out that there were kitchens and beautiful rooms were all redone for the offices that we see now. And this picture of the red dress was known as Luco, which meant wear red in medieval means that you're important, which is found in the back of the palace. We also found out that Dante put all the people he hated in hell, which a lot of people thought. We also found out that Michelangelo was a shoe size 6. We found this out because all of his stairs were a size 6 shoe size apart from each other.